Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be watching. This is Christine at Christine is Crocheting, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. I'll be reading from Every Day with Jesus by Greg Laurie. Week 44, Wednesday. More and more like Him. We Christians have no veil over our faces. We can be mirrors that brightly reflect the glory of the Lord. And as the Spirit of the Lord works within us, we become more and more like Him. 2 Corinthians 3:18. When two people have been married for a while, they start becoming like each other. This has happened with my wife and me. We know each other so well that I can start a sentence and she can finish it. She knows what I'm thinking, even when I'm not saying it. I'm just amazed at her intuition. But I can usually read her as well. Having been married for more than 3 decades now, we've spent a long time together. This is even more the case when we have been spending time with Jesus Christ. We become like Him, a chip off the old rock, we might say. This is God's ultimate plan for every Christian, to make us like Jesus. We see this in the life of Peter. He was burned by the enemy's fire when he denied the Lord. But when touched with the Spirit's fire at Pentecost, he became the new and improved Peter. The same thing that happened to him can happen to you. The same power is available to every believer. That's because when someone has been with Jesus, and by that I mean when they spend time in the Lord's presence and spend time growing spiritually, they will become more like Him. Before you ever made your appearance on earth, God chose you. God knew there would come a day when you would put your faith in Him, and He chose you before you chose Him. And what is His goal for you? His goal is that you might become like Jesus. Many of us know and can quote Romans 8:28, the verse that starts, "And we know that in all things God works for the good." But the verse that follows, Romans 8:29, is every bit as important. Here are the two verses together. "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. And for those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, so that He might be firstborn among many brothers and sisters." We are being shaped and conformed, sometimes through our hardships and trials, to be more and more like God's Son. Thank you for joining me today on Wisdom Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your week.